Well, good evening. Ira Epstein with your financial market wrap-up, and this wrap-up is for a pretty wild trading day on this Thursday, November 6th, 2025. We're about 6:45 p.m. Central Time. And what started the whole day off and set the tone for the day came right off the bat from Challenger Gray. When they said there was 153,000 job cuts that took place, whoa. The market wasn't ready for that. That was triple the number during the same time of the month last year. And it was in the tech sector primarily, according to them, and warehousing. Two areas that you wouldn't think they would be in that much, and they were. So industrial production to a degree, maybe shipping from Amazon, I don't know, warehousing, technology, certainly, AI, a huge impact. Do not believe for a minute that AI isn't causing job losses. They're selling you a bill of goods if you believe that. It is doing that at the beginning, and then it creates jobs because people figure out, I need to figure out how to do such and such. The AI program can't do that. I need people to do whatever that is. And it's a cycle that comes around. And you're at that cycle. You're at that cycle right now where the jobs are able to be coming down. What company doesn't want to cut costs? They do. I'm watching company upon company, especially in the food industry, if they can have robots do certain parts of their salads, is it Sweetgreen, others like that, without people, they save money. That doesn't mean the cost of the other goods aren't there, but you're trying to find ways to do that to get the reward down the road. And this is happening. And it's happening now, not down the future. This isn't about science fiction. This is about today. Tesla. People voted with their pocketbook. If you've been an owner of Tesla for years, how could you vote no on Musk? Whatever he wants to make, pay him. If the points that he has to hit are so high for him to make whatever money he's going to make, $1 trillion, let's say. What do you make along the way on that ride? As long as it's fair and you're in that ride, I for not one moment thought they're going to vote against him. Why own Tesla then? You heard me say it here. 75% plus of the people voted for it. University of Michigan, the prelim consumer sentiment tomorrow at 9. They're looking for it slightly lower, 53 versus 53.6. And I don't understand this one. They're looking for consumer credit to jump to 10 billion from last month's 0.4 billion. So something's going on there that I just don't know, but they'll explain it and we'll understand it later on. As you can see tonight, fairly stable in most of the energies, although we've been getting bids in heating oil and natural gas. Why? It's going to snow. We're going to see in the next 5 days some snow in the Midwest. That's fine. It's not freezing, but the first cold, the first snow, it generally gives markets a bid. It's that simple. The first hot weather in the late spring, summer, the heat wave drives the same thing in natural gas higher for the demand usage. You're very stable in bonds and notes. Grains aren't open yet, but they sold off sharply today. And the question continues to be, number one, in wheat, Russia can sell as much wheat as they want. They're one of the largest producers in the world. They need money for their war. Number two, I for 1 second don't buy the argument that oil's going up because Russia is telling people, don't you produce more, you're hurting me with the value. They'll not produce for a moment and then they'll go back. People trade their country, not what Russia needs. When I look at the metal markets, they were overpriced. They've come down, and the stock market was overpriced. Have you not noticed that how many companies were hitting their numbers recently, and if they hit them, the markets were falling? Yes, we get every day on CNBC the winners and the losers. Most of the winners are companies I've truly never heard of. The losers are the big companies that you're hearing because they're already highly valued, so the market pulls back. They've hit their numbers. They're doing just fine. Got a bit pricey, markets pull back. That offers buying opportunities down the road. When we take a look at the S&P, you would think the world caved in. Some people call me, they would go, what do I do here? Look what's going on. You're now 1.49% for the week. Do you think that's a big break? I don't. You've corrected, past tense. Maybe you're in the middle of it, current tense, but you're pulling down. That I can see. The trend is down, lower highs, lower lows, and under the key 18-day average. We'll see if it hits it again tomorrow. That's where the market's trying to hold on. If it can't hold there, then the next spot is going to be possibly the lower Bollinger Band of 66.53. That's a long way down from here. It's 120 points, but is it a long way down? It's 2 days of breaks. It's really not as big as you think. And you still have momentum pointing lower. In other words, in plain English, I see no buy signal. I don't see a reason that the shorts are yet covering. That's what I'm seeing. When I look at the NASDAQ, same thing, fighting its battle at the 18-day average, momentum pointing down, trend down. So yeah, you can get buying for whatever reason. You would think this would do well with Tesla as part of it because they gave the yes vote. But getting the yes vote is not the same as making the robot, selling them by the thousands and putting money in the bank. That's yet to all come. Then we have to go over and look at the Dow Jones, and it's fighting its battle at the 18-day average. Its momentum still down. So I don't have one reason to go long. I have reasons where the markets are fighting to still stay short. There's a big difference there. And even when we come to the Russell, went down to the Bollinger Band, not able to really bounce away from it yet. Okay, we know this is the weakest. We pinpointed it. I've done my job here for a couple of years telling you that. I turned bullish in the June period down here, said, oh, my work's now flashing back up. It did. And then my work said, uh-oh, correction time. I expected it September and October. Didn't get it in either month. And you're getting it now. Okay. So the cycle's a little late. When I look at the DAX, still falling down, this is called running the lower Bollinger Band, the Gorilla Glue trade. It often leads to a market trying to embed. If it embeds, the situation gets even worse. This broke a lot and has it embedded. It doesn't need a reason to get short covering is one way I'm looking at it. Then we come into the interest rates. They've stayed under the 18-day average, and the past two rate cuts by the Fed have produced one thing. Not lower real rates. If you look at the futures, when they gave them to you, they've dropped. When they drop, rates go up. So I know what people want to say. They can show me all the facts and figures they want. They can't argue with the chart, and that's what the chart action has been. When we come to the dollar index, I was looking starting 3 days ago. I said, the first challenge generally of the 200-day average and a Bollinger Band, the black dashed line together, is often the zone that the pros try to take money off the table if they've been bullish. I still think that's what's going on. And the flip-flop could be true here in the euro, except it never did have, and get down to the lower 200-day average. It just went to the Bollinger Band. It's now snapped. So here's what I look at here. Did the market ever embed? And we're looking at it right now. No. The market just got oversold. So it's just a bounce in the market, normal short covering. Look for some resistance probably in the 116.20 area. Aussie dollar. I tried today and missed the short sale. I'm sorry I missed it, but I did. And it got right up to where I thought it would fail and to that 18-day average, as it turned out. That number drops a little, as remember, each day that depends where the settlement comes in or the last trade of the day is. In the micro Bitcoin, riding the lower Bollinger Band, trying to set up an embedded reading. I realize how bullish people are. I'm not. I'm not in that camp that's wildly, it's going. This market didn't act as a safe haven like gold did. It didn't run with inflation fears. It ran off of speculative fear, and now the speculators are abandoning it for the short term. When we look at the energies, just keep your eye on the 18-day average of closes here and here. That's where the story is going to develop from. There is no story right now. It's a developing one. Heating oil, natural gas, I don't want you to be short. You've heard me say that. Generally, the first snow, cold weather creates a rally, and then after that, it becomes tradable again. I'm just giving you 5 decades of experience of watching how futures, obviously they didn't all exist then, but the knowledge of it, the demand, crude oil's been here forever. I mean, you understand what I'm getting at. So you put it together, and I try to come up with plans for you. And the way I do that is in the mornings, because I put out combo packages. For the futures market, at 6 in the morning, I'm recording what I think is going on. So at 6 a.m. Central Time, I go through 40 charts. I wait for the first half hour of trading in stocks to go by my design. Often that's where big government reports come in. Number two, unlike futures, which trade Monday through Thursday, 23 hours a day, the stock market finishes at 4 p.m. our time, Central Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time. But what really goes on there? You've got to be, I think I said those times backwards. What really goes on is that the market's got to play catch up because it's not a real exchange number. If you watch the numbers that take place at night and you put them on your charts, in most cases, they're not there. The market looks at the regular trading hours of the exchange. That's not the way it works in futures. So I let that noise go by it. But then I follow every trade. So I put together a spreadsheet for you. On such and such date, buy here, sell there. We follow it from beginning to end. On each trade, how much did it make? How much did it lose? Did you put on a full-size position, partial positions? How do you take them off? I work with it that way. I think you'll find it interesting. What do you have to lose? Give it a try. It's a couple of cups of coffee for the month, and you're done. IraEpstein.com research. That's where it's all at. Hope you sign up and join with me on it. I think it's going to be an interesting end of the year. I'll catch up with you in the other videos tonight and first thing in the morning. Have a great evening.